Did telling your family about your autism diagnosis make you feel better or worse? I'm going to tell you about my story and what I think, and we're going to dissect it a little bit, okay? So last year when I turned 38, I was partially diagnosed with autism, and by partially I mean that it was just the symptoms presented to a psych nurse who said, yes, I think you present very well with the symptoms for ADHD. I also did an evaluation with her, but in order to get a formal evaluation, it had to be someone with accreditation to step up from hers. So I was able to get prescribed some medication for the ADHD. Then fast forward to now, I get diagnosed with autism as well, and I'm like, whoa. It hit me to the point where I was just like in silence for a while, like, I don't know exactly what this means, but I'm going to navigate it. Now, of course, my husband knew. He was the first person to know for quite some time, and he's amazing, so that felt super comfortable. Next, I told my son, and that's still kind of up in the air as to how I feel about that, because I feel like the maturity level at his age just don't add up when it comes to those kind of things, because he later brought it up in a joke and I didn't think the joke was funny. So that's the kind of, I think, worry that a lot of us have, is how people are going to react and the things that they're going to say about our diagnosis, even though we've been living with it for our entire lives. We just did not have the proper medical care or attention to get diagnosed. I feel like some people felt like they had to make sure that I knew they still loved me anyways, and that they weren't going to treat me any differently, even though I've been like this my entire life. None of these traits have changed. Or they felt like, I don't know why people feel sad or bad for you if you're someone who's diagnosed with ADHD. It's like my brain just works differently, and I'm more overstimulated by things that typically wouldn't bother someone else. So if this is you and this is how you felt, let me know in the comments, because I was like, oh, okay, just know that we love you and we support you. And I'm like, that is super sweet, but at the same time, like, I'm still the same person that you knew. Now I'm just able to put provisions in place so that I am not showing up like a perfected person every time I'm around you, and not giving myself the grace to say no, or to not overstimulate myself with texts that make me feel overstimulated. And I, just like many diagnoses, I don't feel like there's enough education surrounding it, especially when it comes to adults and how it is. I had someone ask me, how long have you had that for? And I'm like, my entire life. But nobody saw it, because you become so good at masking that it literally becomes second nature. Y'all, my hands are dry. My hands are so dry. I was like washing dishes at the cafe, and then I had to come run out for a second. I'm like, I keep looking, I'm like, whose knuckles is those, girl? But overall, I feel like I just shared, and then I shared on my social media, and I was just like, whatever. Because what about the children living with autism who need to see representation? And there are so many of us adults who did not know that we were autistic until we became adults, 30s, 40s, when things became really difficult. Some people even 50s, 60s. And now I feel like it is our duty to share, especially for the young generation, to see what they could possibly become. That representation is important. As a person of color, who is this?